The readings will now be given by Miscellany from Canada.
The Bible, Isaiah. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. The Lord hath called me, and said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Lord, and my work with my God. And he said, It is a light thing that thou shouldst be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. Jonah. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea. Then the mariners were afraid, and said unto him, Why hast thou done this? For the man knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. So they took Jonah and cast him forth into the sea, and the sea ceased from her raging. Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his God out of the fish's belly. And the Lord spake unto the fish, and it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land. And the word of the Lord came unto Jonah the second time, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and preach unto it the preaching that I bid thee. So Jonah arose and went to Nineveh, according to the word of the Lord. And he cried and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. So the people of Nineveh believed God, and proclaimed a fast, and put on sackcloth, from the greatest of them even to the least of them. And God saw their works, that they turned from their evil way, and God repented of the evil that he had said that he would do unto them, and he did it not. Matthew. The same day went Jesus out of the house, and sat by the seaside. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him. And he spake many things unto them in parables. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they, seeing, see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed. Lest any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as a little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Luke. Blessed are they that hear the word of God and keep it. I will now read correlative passages of Science and Health with key to the scriptures and prose works by Mary Baker Eddy. The still small voice of scientific thought reaches over continent and ocean to the globe's remotest bound. The effects of Christian Science are not so much seen as felt. It is the still small voice of truth uttering itself. We are either turning away from this utterance, or we are listening to it and going up higher. Willingness to become as a little child and to leave the old for the new renders thought receptive for the advanced idea. Gladness to leave the false landmarks and joy to see them disappear. This disposition helps to precipitate the ultimate harmony. The purification of sense and self is a proof of progress. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. The pains of sense are salutary if they wrench away false, pleasurable beliefs and transplant the affections from sense to soul, where the creation of God are good, rejoicing the heart. Such is the sword of science, with which truth decapitates error, materiality giving place to man's higher individuality and destiny. What is the principle and rule of Christian Science? Infinite query. Wonder in heaven and on earth. Who shall say? The Immaculate Son of the Blessed has spoken of them as the golden rule and its principle, God, who is love. Listen, and he illustrates the rule. Jesus called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them and said, Whosoever shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Harmony is heaven. Science brings out harmony, but this harmony is not understood unless it produces a growing affection for all good and consequent disaffection for all evil, hypocrisy, evil speaking, lust, envy, hate. Where these exist, Christian Science has no sure foothold. They obscure its divine element and thus seem to extinguish it. Men give counsel, but they give not wisdom to profit by it. To ask wisdom of God is the beginning of wisdom. When mortal mind is silenced by the still small voice of truth that regenerates philosophy and logic, and Jesus, as the true idea of him, is heard as of yore, saying to the sensitive ears and dark disciples, I came from the Father. Before Abraham was I am. Co-existent and co-eternal with God. And this idea is understood, then will the earth be filled with the true knowledge of Christ. When the belief in material origin, mortal mind, sensual conception dissolves through self-imposed suffering, and its substances are found substanceless, then its miscalled life ends in death, and death itself is swallowed up in life, spiritual life, whose myriad forms are neither material nor mortal. When every form and mode of evil disappear to human thought and mollusk and radiate as spiritual concepts testifying to one Creator, then earth is full of His glory. And Christian Science has overshadowed all human philosophy, and being is understood in startling contradiction of human hypotheses. And Socrates, Plato, Kant, Locke, Berkeley, Tyndall, Darwin, and Spencer sit at the feet of Jesus. Today, if ye would hear his voice, listen to his word, and serve no other God. Then the divine principle of good that we call God will be found an ever-present help in all things, and Christian Science will be understood. It will also be seen that this God demands all our faith and love, that matter, man or woman, can never heal you, nor pardon a single sin. while God, the divine principle of nature and man, when understood and demonstrated, is found to be the remote, predisposing, and present cause of all that is rightly done. Let us meekly meet, mercifully forgive, wisely ponder, and lovingly scan the convulsions of mortal mind, that its sudden sallies may help us not to start, but to tenure of unprecarious joy. Rich hope have I in him who says in his heart, I will listen for thy voice, lest my footsteps stray. I will follow and rejoice all the rugged way.